Very impressive game. And in there, a quarterback is Snell O'Brien. How could you not pick him after the last game he played? In at right half back is Owen MacDonald. Owen had a good game, though he was always positioned. Right half back is Owen's position, and in the centre half back is Pat Sullivan. I'm sure Pat Sullivan would be delighted to see Owen MacDonald back. Pat Sullivan was captain of this team, and in the left half back, the ever working, the most industrious player on the Robertstown team on the last day was John Bowers. In the middle of the field is Paddy Morden, and in with him was Frank Dowland. That was expected, but a small inclusion in this game was Joe Buff. Joe has moved in from the substitute space to centre half forward. We were expecting that as well. And on his right is P. Farrell. P. had a bad game the last day, but we're expecting him to do a lot better today. Liam Carty, I thought, was a little bit unfortunate to be taken off the last day. Liam is on today, which I thought was very fair. Sham Moore is in at number 13, the right half forward, right corner forward is Sham. He's playing number 13. And then number 14 is Sean Hutchinson. He's not long in that position, but he showed great promise in the last game. And then at number 15 is Johnny Morden. To come onto the field, we just name out the team. In goals is James Hickey. He had a good game there the last day. Right corner back is Joe Fitzpatrick, and in full back is Joe McAvoy. McAvoy played fairly well on that day too. And as the last game, another is in at number 4. James Dempsey, he's in at number 5. Paul McAvoy's number 6. And Martin Joe Brennan is at number 7. And the man of the match on the day, Tom Harris, the captain of the Rheban team, he's in at number 8. And another man who played well that day was Joe Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's at number 9. Number 10 is John Kelly. And number 11 is Paul Harris, probably a brother of Tom Harris, the captain. He was at number 8. They'll probably link up together. Richard Casey, he's in at number 12. Richard Foley, he's in at number 13. Seamus Fitzpatrick, he's full forward. And Paddy Owens, leading scorer for Rheban on the day, he was in at number 15. And it's up to you to make your judgment now. Maybe they won't be as confident as the last day. They missed an awful lot of chances in the first 12 minutes, and they paid dearly for it. Today, maybe they'll have their kicking boots with them. I don't know. Robertstown will be a different team than they were the last day. Robertstown have never played so bad in the whole season. They've had some great players for them. Sullivan in particular, he was full back, but I'm sure the full forward from Rheban is not relishing his second encounter with Sullivan. And the left half forward for Rheban is not relishing encountering Johnny Bowers for the second time either. Both these men, they're very consistent, and they're sure of a good game. Seamus Morden, he should produce on the day for Robertstown, but Harris, he's been outstanding for Rheban. Let's call it a one-man show. Let's call it a two-man show, but that's as far as you'll call it. Robertstown, probably a better balanced team, should produce on the day. And the referee today is Pierce Frady. Pierce was the referee of the last game. Very fair, very official, and very right at the best of times. Maybe I thought at times he was a little bit hard Robertstown, but he's a good referee as Pierce. He plays for the ball and he likes to see the ball flowing. He never stopped the game too often when the play was there to play and the advantage was there to take. And the team photograph is being taken, and Joe Buff is involved in that team photograph. He would be very happy about that. Joe has been disappointed from the last game. The line-up something similar. There's not too many changes. Joe Buff goes into centre half forward slot, and Frank Morden, he comes out the middle of the field. Against Frank, I'd say he'll be policing Tom Harris for the game, and he's quite capable of doing that job. Frank, a player, as I said the last game, quite capable of many positions on the field, and one of great calibre, great character, like his father and his uncle before him. For the big occasion, he'll always be there. We have Seamus Kane and Johnny Gleeson, one ex-chairman and one chairman. They're discussing tactics. Seamus looks very confident with the hands behind his back in his green jumper, which he bought in pennies during the week. Johnny Gleeson, he's over there talking with the 39 man. Johnny, he told me during the week he was confident Robertstown would win this game. He wasn't sure why they were so bad the last day. I told him maybe just an off day. But middle of the field. And we have the two captains in the middle of the field, Tom Harris and Kerryman Sullivan. They're talking to the referee. The humour seems to be good. They shake hands. We don't know which way the toss went, but it seems that Robertstown are playing the way they are. There seems to be a slight breeze. It's in favour of Rheban if that's the case. The referee calls for the ball. He wants this. And we have a flag here made by Michael Mooney from Kyle Dove. It's probably the pride and joy of Robertstown at the moment. The flag, he spent hours and hours putting it together. Isn't it beautiful? This all the young people from Robertstown. We have them from all age groups, from 25 years down, and they're enjoying themselves up there in the stand area. And Robertstown, as we said, are lining out the way we said it. Old McDonald's gone back into right half back where he's accustomed to. Joe Boff is centre half forward. In the middle of the field, Paddy Morton is joined by Frank Morton. Up goes Paddy Morton. He's got the ball. He's moving well. Let's see a bit of man today. He gives his brother Seamus. Seamus being hassled and hustled by Joe Fitzpatrick, but he's making room for himself. And it's a sideline ball to Robertstown. Seamus got the ball in early from Paddy, who took it from the break, and it's early signs, but it's good signs from Robertstown. As we wait for the line ball, Seamus to take it himself. I hope he has his kicking boots with him today. He can be often lethal from these positions. It's high, but it's to the left and it's wide. It's a good effort in the first few minutes. It just goes to show you he is confident he can do it. James Hickey, whose clearances and his kick-outs were very vital for Rheban the last day. And up goes Harris. Morton, Paddy Morton has the ball in his hand. This man is a better man today. He's been fouled in the middle of the field, and it's a good sign for Morton. He has confidence, which he hasn't shown in the last game. He's going to take it himself. He's getting the first few balls, and that's very vital to Robertstown. He steps back a long distance before he kicks it, drives it in. And again, it's into the full forward line. Sean Hutchinson has the ball. Looks for the loose man. Gives it Joe Boff, the new man of the team. Joe just back from an accident. He's been fouled. And this is Robertstown's maybe their best chance in the first few minutes. But they're applying all the pressure, even against the wind. And here comes Seamus Morton. I'm sure he has his kicking boots with him today. It's going to be the first chance for Robertstown. The first free. He's about 35 yards for goals. It's high and it's over the bar. A great point. Seamus, when he wants on his day, he's as good as anybody in this county to kick a point. And it just goes to show you, Rheban, watch out today. You can't foul on the 35-metre line and get away from it. McAvoy to take the kick out again. As usual, he strolls back about 20 yards before he kicks the ball. He sends a high kick out down the field, and up goes Frank Morton, or Frank Dowler. Tom Harris got the ball early in the first few minutes. He got his first high field of the game. And young Liam Carty done a very foolish thing. He kicked the ball away, and the referee moves it up 10 yards. Now it's Rheban's turn to put on the pressure. Will Sullivan weather the storm like he did the last day? But does he have two good men like he did the last day in the cornerbacks? We just have to wait and see. It's in the high. And away comes Owens again, and Owens kicks it. It's uncharacteristic of Owens. It's gone wide. And Robertstown get ready for the kick out. Sullivan, I hope he doesn't have as much duties as he did last Sunday. Paddy Owens, a very bad miss from him. Consini was the consistent player of, and Johnny Bowers was up for that ball, and it was knocked out to the sideline by the Rheban man, John Kelly. Just a little bit of information. James Dempsey was sent off in the last game. I don't see him out in the field here today. Maybe he has a serious suspension, but the new number 5 is Noel O'Connor. It's high into the air, and away comes Paddy Morton. Joe Boff was onto the breaking ball. There was questions asked. Why wasn't this man picked the last day? But he's proven himself so far in the first few minutes. Sean Morton moved into a full forward position. It comes down to his brother Johnny. He doesn't get the room, but he's moving fairly well. Oh, he gives it back out and breaks wrongly for the Robertstown man, Pete Farrell. It's cleared by McAvoy down the field, and up goes Gaelish, and Game is caught for the bounce. And here comes Johnny Bowers, very consistent footballer, reads it well. Gives it up Paddy Morton, a little bit too high for him, the pass went astray. Fitzpatrick kicks it down the field, and away comes O'Brien. O'Brien is jockeying him. And Sullivan in the right place at the right time as usual, comes right. A good clearance by Sullivan. But as usual, Rheban are there under the breaking ball. And here come Robertstown, they look very determined. And away comes Tom Harris, kicks it high. And that's a glorious point, maybe 35, 40 yards out, a glorious point. He'll be very confident with that kick. He took it in his stride from the break and play between Liam Carty and Martin. There's a Rheban man down here on the far side of the field. The linesman and the referee, they combined and they see nothing wrong with the tackle. Maybe it was on the ball and he just wasn't able for the hassle. But he was down there, he was lying on the ground, but he's okay. I think he's just a little bit winded. The referee, as we wait for John Sullivan to take the kick out, everything seems to be okay. That was the Rheban right half back. Noel O'Connor, he seems to be alright. He's able to resume the game. It goes up high, Frank Dowling goes up with it. Drives the ball upfield, but it's a sideline ball. The linesman was there on the spot. To wait for the ball to come back down, take this free or sideline ball. Joe Fitzpatrick's going to take the line ball himself. Fitzpatrick, I thought, was a very good player on the last game. He seems to be quick enough, but I think the wind advantage is with Rheban, and I think if they don't clock up the scores early in the game, well, then they're in a lot of trouble. Pushing the back for Frank Dowling on Tom Harris, the captain of the Rheban team, and he lives to Paddy Owens. Paddy been lethal for Rheban from that position on the last day, and we'll wait and see the outcome of this free. And Paddy Owens, he steps up to take the free. We're waiting on the outcome. He sends it in, it's high, and it's to the left and it's wide. Just a little bit of information. Thomas Ball travelled all the way from Wales, brought his brother-in-law with him for this game to watch his brother Joe play in the match. And maybe you've guessed at this stage, I'm kind of involved with that family as it is. But it's nice to see Thomas here. Welcome, Fortune here, and that was thought to come on. We'd like to welcome your friend here today too, and I hope he finds the game of Gaelic a lot different than the game of rugby. Someone sends out his kick up, it's high into the air. Up goes Owen MacDonald. He loves that position at right half back, and I'd be very confident he'd play a lot better today than he did last day. And Joe Bolt may be beaten for the ball there by the centre half back. Paul McAvoy. McAvoy gets it down into the right half forward, or centre half forward. Paul Harris. Harris went down. It's a free into Rheban. And over comes Paddy Owens again. Maybe the best chance Rheban have had in this half, in the first 10 minutes. And it's up to him whether he put Rheban on level terms. The score is 1 point each at the moment. He steps back a good distance too. He takes his free kick, it's high, and it's through the centre of the bar, it's over the bar. John Sullivan takes the kick out, it's low, comes to Paddy Morden. Morden seems to have more room today, breakdown by Tom Harris. We hope Harris is shepherded a little bit before today, and the referee calls over Paddy Morden. You take his name, there's an incident off the ball, he's having a chat with Paddy. Paddy says, I don't see what you've seen wrong, ref, but Paddy seems to have fouled Harris, and he's getting his name taken very early in the game. He goes away, it's not so serious, the referee didn't send him off anyway. But Owens, he's taken all the frees from 45 yards in, and from 45 yards it's Rheban's first free from the 45-yard line. He steps back, a long step again, sends in a high ball, blocked down by Morden, the man that was booked for the free. He got the break of the ball, did Owens, kicks it high, and it's well wide to the right. And let's hope Rheban will keep this up. And Sullivan getting ready to take out this kick out. He hasn't been as under much stress as he was the last game. It's high, it's in the middle of the field, and Rheban are waiting for the break of ball. Robertstown, they've been warned about this. You can't wait for the ball to come to you. Frank Dowling makes the move up the field, given the ball by Paddy Morden. Gives a nice loose ball out to Liam Carty. Carty looks up around him, gives it out to Joe Bolt, but that's a very bad pass. It's picked up by Fitzpatrick, and away comes the right half back. Noel O'Connor gives it to Tom Harris's brother Joe, Paul Harris, and it's high, and it's gone to the left and right. That's very bad football. Seamus Fitzpatrick, the full forward, or sorry, I'm wrong. Richard Foley, the corner forward, he got very, very wide. And John Sullivan with the kick out once more. Will Robertstown learn from the breaks? Harris got the ball, he's making room for himself, puts it onto his right foot, gives it into the full forward, Sullivan thumps it away from him, and it comes to a Rheban man. He kicks it high, it's over the bar, and they seem to be getting the break of the ball once more again today. But the breeze is in their favour. And John Sullivan with the kick out, comes in the middle field, home McDonald, and Frank Donald takes the break, drives it into the full forward line. That's where it can be best used. Sean Morden takes the break of ball. That's broke down to Sean Hutchinson. Hutchinson goes down on it. He's still waiting, he's shocking the player. gives it back out. Joe Buff waits for the breaking ball, and here's Fitzpatrick again on his own. Drives it down clear, but away comes Johnny Bowers. Johnny Bowers gets it back up the field about 5 yards. He takes the breaking ball. What a player! And away comes down on the ground is drives it up to Sean Hudson. Oh, and it's taken well by the cornerback, Joe Fitzpatrick, and he gears a free for that fielding. It was nicely taken by Fitzpatrick, kept in his chest. Sean Morden fouls him, and it's a free out the ribbon. Robertstown looked very promising in their attack. They looked more positive than they did negative, and that's a big improvement from the last game. And here comes McAvoy again, drives down the field, and away comes Frank Dowling, waiting for the breaking ball. Robertstown seems to have read the midfield a lot better this day. Down the right wing of the field, jockeys his man, drives it in high, and here comes Hutchinson. The ball's not breaking down to Robertstown at the moment. The other corner back, Donovan, gives the ball out to number 9, Joe Fitzpatrick. He seemed to pick it up off the ground, but it's a line ball anyway in for Robertstown. I'm sure Thomas Ball will be very impressed with Robertstown at this stage, because he was one of the players, a founder member of the club. And Joe Buff has the ball. It looks to me he's being fouled. He didn't get any room for the guy's kick in. Paddy Morton has it. He sends it across the box, and it's gone wide. That was a very tight position for Robertstown. Buff done well with the possession he had. I felt maybe he should have tried to break the defence, but now he let it off. He looked to be fouled in the first few seconds of that attack, but the referee says no. Joe McAvoy getting ready to take out the kick out. A long pace backwards. Gets his boot under its high. And away comes Joe Fitzpatrick. Robertstown will maybe have to shepherd him a little bit today. He had a lot of free room the last day, and then Pete Farrell has the ball. Pete lets it in towards Liam Carty, who I thought was being fortunate to be taken off the last game. And he gets a free. He wins a free just inside the 45-metre line. The referee is calling the back with the ball. And Sean Morton, he looked very confident on the last free. It was from an awkward angle, and he was narrowly wide. Sean Morton, he sends it in. It's high. It's off to the left. Sean Hudson went up with Joe McAvoy. McAvoy gives it out to O'Connor. O'Connor gives it out to Tom Harris. Harris sends down the field, and it's a sideline ball to Robertstown. Harris distribution and maybe a little bit off. As we wait for Johnny Bowers to take the sideline ball. And Bowers is calling on his players to rally around him. He gives it out into space to Joe Buff. The ball is sliding, and it's broken out space. McDonald, he's in space. He's players around him. Kerryman Sullivan backing him up. He's been hustled by the centre-half forward, Paul Harris, and it's a free into McDonald. The free taking duties outside the 45-metre line seems to fall on Francis Dowland. Sends it in. The Rheban are very, very shaky at the back. That was a very bad interception of the ball by Martin Joe Brennan. He drove it out to the sideline ball, and Sean Morton, he scored a great point from a position similar to this in the last game. Sean, he's 30 years of age. He hasn't too much years left in football, and I'm sure he'd be delighted to win a Junior A medal today. He sizes up the kick. It's high. It's across the ball. Well taken. It was a square ball. Harris took that one off his line. And it's a kick out, or it's a free out for Rheban. I didn't think it was a free myself. He looked at taking it cleanly and wasn't hassled by any players. Bad kick by McAvoy. Drops down to the corner back. Away comes Liam Carty. Liam is hustling the right half back. Connor, who's in instead of Dempsey. And the referee is being a little bit hard on Morton. And he moves the ball up another 10 yards, which I didn't think warranted. Maybe Morton said something that we didn't hear. Rheban seems to be playing out their skins once again. It's a high ball in from Harris, comes down to Joe Carty, a tie over the bar, and it's 4 points to 1 in favour of Rheban. John Sullivan to kick out this ball. He sends it out, and away comes Johnny Bowers. If a ball goes in his direction, Bowers is nearly sure to get it. He fumbles that one, but got the break. He was lucky to get the break. And away comes the right half back, O'Connor. He drives it down towards the right half forward, John Kelly. Kelly drives it in towards Gay Leeson. Gay Leeson loses nothing much against the corner forward. Will this break favour Robertstown? Now it comes up to the Rheban full forward. His name is Seamus Fitzpatrick, and it comes Snell O'Brien. Snell blocking off, and it's Harris again with the ball. It's blocked down by Snell O'Brien. He played a great game the last day. Two Robertstown men misinterpreted that. It's high with the left foot, and it's wide. That's a drastic miss by Rheban. They'll rue those chances. They've had 3 or 4 of those good ones, and they've kicked them wide. You can't do that in a Junior A final. Robertstown under all sorts of pressures at the moment. Will they win them, or will they not? That's up to you to decide yourself. But I think myself, Robertstown have been doing very, very intelligent football with their part of the play. So when the kick out, it's high. It's out to the middle of the field again. Up goes Harris, the high field and Rheban man. Breaks it down to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick drives it back in towards Seamus Fitzpatrick, his brother. He's got the ball. He's playing better today than he did the last day. And it's blocked down by Gay Leeson. And away comes Snell O'Brien. It blocks down to Paddy Owens. And it blocks down again. And it's high, it's over the bar. It broke down to Richard Foley. Foley put it away in the second chance. And Sullivan gets ready to kick out. It's 5 points to 1. Robertstown will have to get an attack together, or else they won't be in this Junior A final. Breaks down to Kerry Matt Sullivan. He's very strong on the ball. He gets a free for a dig in the kidneys. I thought maybe the referee would have took Harris's name for that one. He took from Paddy Morden for something silver. Morden sends in a high ball towards his brother Seamus. Breaks down to Sean Hutchinson. Hutchinson finds Liam Carty. Liam Carty's looking for a man. He hasn't got one. Sends it in high again towards Hutchinson. And it's a free into Robertstown on the just outside the 21-metre line. And Seamus Morden to lower the deficit. 5 points to 1. He can make it 5 points to 2, and maybe Robertstown keep the ball on that half for the rest of this half. Puts it over, very confident. Sean Morden seems to have his kicking boots with him. Robertstown have been in worse situations than this over the years, and they can weather this kind of storm. Let's hope Joe McAvoy gets to kick the ball out from that part of the field fairly regular through this match. Sends it out high to the middle of the field. Ball is breaking, and Robertstown seem to be a little bit more determined. They're watching for the breaking ball. Joe Buff on his right, Sean Hutchinson. Buff waits for it. Oh, it's high, and that's, oh, he overcarried. The referee had already blown the whistle. He had Joe Buff outside him, couldn't give him the ball. He had Sean Morden on his left, but maybe he just panicked a little bit. And we get McAvoy again to kick out this ball. He's the full back. That attack was broken down by him. And it comes up to number 12. That's Richard Casey. It's a free in. He played the ball on occasion and won the free for himself. Will Owens come out to take this one. The corner forward, he seems to be very determined with his free taken. Or is he leaving it to the right half back? O'Connor. Now Owens has taken himself. Robertstown are asleep. O'Connor was waiting for the break. And Rheban looked very alert. That was a lovely point from O'Connor from the right half-back position. Robertstown will have to be watching those short frees. There's 6 points to 2. There's 4 points in this game, but there's still an awful lot in the game to go yet. Fitzpatrick, he's moved back up his own end of the field. Up comes Johnny Bowers. Johnny trying to break down the ball. Harris takes it. There's a switch man. Johnny Murray's gone out of the corner forward position into right half forward. He seems to be doing a little bit of a shepherding job there. There's a little bit of a scuffle going on, but I don't think it's too serious. The referee surely dropped the ball. Now it's a free out to Robertstown. It wasn't too serious. The Rheban man seemed to go on a little bit too hard there. Still, O'Brien didn't like it. He says, "Watch it, buddy." Johnny Bowers down injured off the ball. Still, O'Brien took it up with Richard Foley. He said Richard went in a bit too hard there on our Johnny. Johnny was being a bit of attention there for the last 5 minutes. But he seems to be able to resume the game. This man's as hard as nails. He's used to this sort of tackling. He's used to this sort of thumping because he dishes it out every chance he gets. Robertstown waited anxiously for this ball to go up the field. They are 6 points to 2 down. 4 points is not in the game of Gaelic football. Johnny Bowers has moved back into the cornerback position. It looks like Snell O'Brien is coming out to right half or left half back. And he's going to take this free. Johnny Bowers, he's run around, he's injured a small bit, but he seems to have run it off himself. Snell drives it up the field, it's high, but it's gone out over the line, maybe 30 yards from where he kicked it. Quite outstanding player, age 17, a quick free given to John Kelly. Kelly turns, gives to Fitzpatrick. Paddy Morden watching the ball, he makes the difference there. Harris went down for it. It looked like it was no free to me, referee. He played the ball, but Tom Harris is down on the ground. Freeney has a word with Dowland, but there doesn't seem to be too malicious. Frank Dowland wouldn't do that to any player on his day. And O'Connor gets ready to take this free, drafted in for James Dempsey. He seems to be making quite an impression already. The vital position for Rheban. Kicks it high, it's down towards the corner forward. He lets it out over his head and that's wide. The score is 6 points to 2. As we get back to the game, kick out from John Sullivan, it's high. Sullivan, he seems to be getting the same task as he did the last day. Up comes Harris, but Robertstown are a little bit wiser. They're not going up in numbers with him. And out comes Frank Hutchison. Hutchison, watch it, but Harris gets the break. Seems to be favouring Rheban. And away comes Robertstown, or Rheban. Knocked out by Snell O'Brien, is taken out by Gay Leeson, who has a cool head. Gay knows what he's doing here, drives it out towards the wing. Johnny Bowers is out there, takes the ball cleanly, goes past one man, knocks another one out of his way. That's great, swap on John Bowers. Joe Bowers going for the break of ball. Rheban seems to be coming in numbers. Joe Bowers is down, or Joe Bob's down there, down goes Sean Hutchinson. It's a free in, the Rheban man was swinging widely there, McAvoy, he was throwing his fist into the air, Paddy Morden, Sham was coming out to take this free. Remember, is 6 points to 2. Can Sham have that deficit? Can he take his third point from here? Sends it in chest high, it's taken by Fitzpatrick, he drives it out into the middle of the field. Frank Dowland waiting for the break, fair shoulder, but the Rheban man came up with the ball. Frank Dowland hassling Tom Harris, but still the right half back is loose. He's having maybe the game of his life here. Sends in a high ball, but it looks like it's going to be a sideline and a tails. A sideline for Robertstown, but the ref. Rheban sending the ball high. Gay Leeson says it's down. Paddy Owens has the ball, gives it back out to the full forward. Seamus Fitzpatrick, he's played a better game than he did last day, but that's a very bad miss and he's kicked it wide. And John Sullivan to kick out again. He seems to be as industrious as he was the last day this time. Robertstown will have to wake up their ideas. The ball breaks to Paddy Morden. He seems to be hustling and bustle. Gets the clearance away. Pete Farrell comes out to it. But Kerryman Sullivan's onto the breaking ball. Robertstown seem to be getting their fair share of the breaks. Maybe not all the time, but they're getting at least a bit more than what they got the last day. Gives the ball in loose to Sean Morden. Sean Morden sends it into the full forward line to Sean Hutchison. McAvoy picks it up. He's been hassled out there. He's done a little bit more work than he was the last day too. Fitzpatrick, he's playing another good game. He played well the last day. The linesman gives the ball to Rheban. McDonald, he was questioning that decision, but himself gives it to the Paddy Morden going down for the ball. He's taken up by Paul Harris. Harris drives it in. Johnny Bowers beaten by the bounce, but away comes young Snell O'Brien. He's made sure of it and makes the clearance out to the right half side of the field. Oh, McDonald has it in his hand, drives along, and Robertstown look to be a little bit more settled now. Breaking down by the right half back from Rheban, drove back up the field by Old McDonald. If Sean Hutchinson plays his cards right, he's head the half back. Paul McAvoy comes clear with it. Boff was just beaten by the bounce that time. Sullivan read the clearance though, and he's onto it. Gives it out to Gay Leeson, looking for the return, but Leeson is coming himself with it. Drives it out into the middle of the field, but that's only where Fitzpatrick is. Fitzpatrick waits under it. Drives it in towards Johnny Bowers, but there's young Snell O'Brien. Robertstown seems to be very, very confident at the back. It's coming out towards Johnny Morden. He was pushed to the back, and it's a free. Morden took that ball well. Maybe I thought he should have got the advantage. Johnny Bowers to take the free. He drives it up the left-hand side of the field. Not a great one, but it's down to the chest of Johnny Morden. Morden breaks with the ball. I think he has the right half back for speed. Gives it to Sean Hutchison. Hutchison has cleared his man. Oh, and he's kicked a terrible ball across the goals, but it's still in play. But it's taken down by the Rheban left half back, Martin Joe Brennan. Brennan drives it down into the middle of the field towards All McDonald. All McDonald seems to have got the best of that break. And it's breaking loose. Joe Balfe surely go down at the whole played first time. It's broken to O'MacDonald again. O'MacDonald breaks it into space, but Rheban seems to be the cutest of the breaks. And it's half-time, the half-time whistle. And maybe Robertstown won't be satisfied with that half, but there's still another half to play and of the wind behind them. As I walk out there, maybe the confidence is not the highest, but I thought they done fairly well in the first half. It's 6 points to 2, and there's still a full half to go. Sean Morden, he doesn't look too happy out there. He's given on a little bit of guff, but I thought Robertstown could have been a lot prouder of today than they were the last day. And Rheban probably could be a lot prouder than Robertstown over their first half display, but don't forget they have a fairly stern breeze behind them. If you look at the flags across the field, they're going from right to left and in favour of Rheban. In the second half, maybe Robertstown with the breeze will lift their game. But I'd say on the first half's performance, Rheban look as if they're going to win this Junior A final, and deservedly so. Robertstown have every opportunity, but they haven't taken it. And for me, Paddy Morden was probably having a better game today than he did the last game. Morden a little bit more consistent. Has been in the game in regular intervals, which is usual for a midfield player. Frank Dowland, he seems to keep Tom Harris a little bit quieter than he was the last day. How he feeling is not the element in today's game. But close play, Rheban seems to be a little bit more intelligent on the loose ball. Ball's thrown in, up goes Paddy Morden, breaks it down to Frank Dowland. And their midfielders working well today. It's in high towards Sean Hutchinson. Hutchinson breaks the ball down, taken up by the quarterback for Rheban, Joe Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick comes close to the ball. It drops loose, and away comes Sean Hutchinson, breaks it out into space to where Frank Dowland is. Frank Dowland breaks it out into space where O'MacDonald is, but away comes Rheban half-back, James Dempsey. Dempsey gives it in to Tom Harris. Paddy Morden a little bit late on the tackle. This could be a vital score for Rheban. Gives it into the loose ball, Paddy Owens. This man can take his point when he's put up to him. Robertstown seems to be at 6-7. It's blocked down by Sullivan. A great block too. And away comes Sean Sullivan. He blocked it originally, and now he's coming clear with it. Turns his man, drives it up the field, towards the middle of the field. Paddy Morden's loose. Good intelligent football by Sullivan. Morden drives up into Sean Hutchinson, who's full forward. It breaks down. Johnny Morden comes away with it. Johnny's on his own. Sends it in high, and it's gone to the left and wide. Robertstown. And Joe McAvoy getting ready to take out the ball. Hopefully he's busy as Sullivan in the first half. He still takes his long stride back and kicks it high up into the middle of the field. And away comes Joe Balfe. Nice. Just taken off him as he was about to kick it. O'MacDonald, he was overtaken there by John Kelly. John Kelly drives up in the corner forward. Paddy Owens. Owens seems to be a little bit more better in possession. He's been tackled by Gay Leeson. Gay held him up. Joe Fitzpatrick on the ball. Away comes Paddy Morden. Tries to block him down. Gives it back into John Kelly. Kelly is fouled on the 35-metre line. And surely this must be a good chance for Rheban to widen the gap to 7 points to 2. Robertstown don't seem to be interested in winning this game. He steps back. He's a fairly prominent and fairly good free kicker is Owens, and I'm sure he'll put this one over the bar. But he doesn't. Oh, he does, yes. It's right to the right, but it came back into the left and over the bar. Good point by Paddy Owens. Sullivan sends out a long clearance. Sean Morden waiting for the break. Robertstown, maybe if they get a vital score here, could boost their morale. Morden on his own. He seems to be fouled and pulled out, but no, he played the ball out over the wing. And away comes Rheban. They're quick on the break. They're quick free, and Fitzharris is gone. Fitzpatrick has gone up the field. Robertstown seems to be just strolling around at the moment. Fitzpatrick gives it to Tom Harris, the captain, his fellow midfield partner, gives it back into Harris. And it's taken out by Frank Dowland. Good bit of play by Frank Dowland. He persisted, but the clearance was bad by Johnny Bowers. It was played for Snell O'Brien, but he gave it to Richard Casey. Richard Casey steps in 1-2, and he gives it to Tom Harris's brother, Paul Harris. He sends it in high. Sullivan under the breaking ball. He didn't catch it the first time, but he got the break the second time. Drives it out the field. Good full back by play by Sullivan. Keeping the head, and away comes O'MacDonald. Will he keep the head and find the Robertstown man? Drives it in full forward line towards Sean Hutchinson. Hutchinson breaks it down, and away comes Paddy Morden. He's no one near him. He's on his own. He's plenty of time to pick the ball up. gives it out to Liam Carty. Carty gets a bit of room, sends it high. And that's a great point from Carty from about 25 yards out from an awkward angle on his left boot and puts it over the bar. That brings Robertstown within 4 points of Rheban now. They'll have to be consistent this half in doing that if they want to stay in the game. McAvoy gets ready for the kick out, and I wouldn't say he'd be too happy about kicking him out from there, but it's up to Robertstown to make him unhappy. Sends it out to the middle of the field. Up goes Frank Dowland. Dowland's breaking down that ball every time, but Robertstown haven't copped the breaking ball. Joe Bott maybe a little bit over anxious, was pulling on the player there. He's nearly gone back to Kilcullen to take this one. But if it works, and there's another loose man from Rheban. Takes this out of it, that's right half back again. Robertstown don't seem to have anybody to stop him from coming in there on the loose ball. It's sent in high. It's Joe Carty there to take the ball out. Joe looked to be pushed off the ball, and Johnny Bowers gives it back out to Snell O'Brien. Snell is on his own, sends a high ball back out to the middle of the field. And Paddy Morton broke it down, but his brother Johnny wasn't alert enough. And my man of the match at the moment is the right half back, O'Connor from Rheban. He's playing some good football. And here comes Richard Foley, and he sent it wide. The Rheban point of view is Sullivan to take the kick out. I'm sure he's very happy about that. There's a substitute being made for Rheban, and out goes number 16. Today, Paul Kelly. Paul Kelly's been brought in by the referee, and off comes the left half back. Oh, gee, I think that, or the right half back. I think that's a very bad decision myself from the Rheban point of view. The man has been cleaning up there, but Fitzpatrick takes the breaking ball. And away comes Guy Leeson. He gives out a loose ball to Frank Dowland. Frank gives a bad ball. That's a bit of a Hollis Street job. Tom McDonald. Owen gets the ball up into his chest. He gets a free, and let's say Fitzpatrick did foul him. It was deservedly so. Gives a quick free to Kerryman Sullivan. Kerryman missed and read the intentions, and it's taken up by Harris. Paul Harris gives it out to Paddy Owens. The referee pulls them up for a pick-up, but I don't think myself it was. Guy Leeson to take this free. If the law is determined at Leeson that this game would be out of Rheban's reach this last Sunday week. He drives the ball maybe chest height. The ball breaks Kerryman Sullivan. The foot was thrown in there by the Rheban centre half forward, Paul Harris. But the referee says it's a free out, and Paddy Morton will take it. He'll drive it down into the full forward line. There's only 4 points in this game, and Robertstown are still in it, but they'll have to improve by 99%. Morton drives it down the field. He sends in a high ball towards Liam Carty. Liam Carty goes up, but the break favouring Rheban and being cleared by Paul McAvoy. And Rheban seem to be more determined than Robertstown. They're fighting for every ball. Away comes Johnny Bowers. It's well taken by Richard Casey. Casey making room for himself. John Sullivan cuts out that clearance. Sullivan's been outstanding for Robertstown the last game, and he's the same this game. Paddy Morton with the ball. Paddy inside the half or midfield. The referee has just gone over there. There's a Rheban man down on the ground. The linesman seems to be a bit suspicious there, but it doesn't seem as if it was on malicious. Maybe it was on the ball. He just took a bad knock when he was going for it. And it was Joe Fitzpatrick who was down that time, but I don't think it was on malicious. But for my money, Rheban are the better team on the park at the moment. But a quick goal for Robertstown could change all that. But Rheban seemed to be getting the breaks. Joe Barrow's in the game. He's in the game for P. Farr, and P. Farr was took off last Sunday week as well. Joe sends down the ball for the free taker, who'll be Sham Morton. Sham comes up. There's early days yet. About 20 minutes left in the game, so I take his point. I'll be happy enough with it. Sham steps back. Fires one in, and it's over the bar. Fairly handy free kick for Sham. That's his third point of the game, and Robertstown. McAvoy steps back to take this kick out, and like I said earlier, I hope he's taking the ball from there. But Robertstown don't seem to be putting in much of an impression. Rheban seems to be doing all the attacking, it seems to be doing all the fighting for the balls. Up goes Tom Harris, takes it cleanly. Bangs his way out of trouble, drives it up the field. And to Johnny Bowers, who's waiting for the break, but it's well read by Snell O'Brien. Drives it down the field. It's a high ball. It's turned on, and that's Rheban man placed himself well. Number 10, his name is James Kelly. Kelly placed himself well, taken down by Paddy Morden, well blocked. But it's a line ball. Morden seems to be disputing it. O'Connor came off and T. Morden came on for him. T. Morden kicks the ball up the field. It's knocked down by the Rheban man. Good smart play. Driven in there across by John Kelly, but the break seems to be fair Rheban. Owens is down there, but he gets a free in. It seems to be very light for the referee, but he's moved up 10 yards. Maybe Gary Leeson said something to him, but he's telling Robertstown done themselves no favours there. Paddy Owens to take this free. Should be handy enough position for him. And he sends it straight between the posts, and he puts that little bit of cushion, he puts a 4-point deficit there. John Sullivan to kick out the ball. It goes a high towards Sham Morden. Sham looked as if he was being held, but he got no free for it. The ball breaks down, and Revers still seems to be getting the breaks. There's Harris coming away with the ball. He looks as if being fouled by Joe Boff. The referee says yes, and it's a free hit to Rheban in the midfield slot. And Rheban with loose men all over the place. Joe Fitzpatrick on his own sends in the ball high. Gay Leeson read it well taken by Gay. Comes out, oh, that looked very high there, but the referee says no, play on, you have the ball. And Joe Buff going for the high ball, but no one to break it down to. Gay Leeson again, but he's taken off him by Paddy Owens. Owens is clear through, oh, and that's a dreadful miss, it's gone to the left and wide. So we're getting ready to kick out the ball again, and it looks like Rheban are having their day. They've dominated the proceedings from the start to this, and it doesn't look like they're going to let it loose. They want this, I think, a little bit more badly than Robertstown. Sullivan breaks down the ball, but it's Paddy Owens again. And the referee gives it a free. I thought it was a little bit harsh. He gives it a free. I thought it was a little bit harsh to myself. Kerryman Sullivan seemed to be just shepherding him. He didn't seem to do anything malicious. But Owens will say thank you. And his second chance in less than 2 minutes to put the ball over the bar once again for Rheban. Their highest score to date this year. Sends it in high, but it went left and wide. Little bit disappointed with themselves there. Owens can't be missing those ones and living through the day. Sullivan to take the kick out again. He seems to be under bombardment, and there's John Sullivan. But due to some of his good play, Robertstown are still in this match. Sham Morden taking the ball into his chest. He's moved out from the corner forward. He's roving a little bit. Sean Hutchinson breaks down the ball. Joe Boff a little unfortunate. The ball didn't break to him, but Paul McAvoy judged to pick the ball up off the ground, and Robertstown can bring themselves into it with 3 points of Rheban here. Roden steps up to take this one, placing the ball very carefully. This is a vital free kick. It brings Robertstown within a kick of equalising the game with Rheban. Sham stands back and sends it high, and it's over the bar. He won't miss from there, lads. You can't foul Robertstown from there and get away with it. So it's 8 points to 5 from Robertstown. And away comes McAvoy from the 21-yard line, and we hope he's kicking more than from there. But Robertstown don't seem to be making them too consistent with those ones. Up goes and Sean Hutchinson, but the break is still favouring Rheban. That was a ball clearance by the full back. He says, come off, Sean Hutchinson. Hutchinson says, no way, it's our ball, and the linesman agrees with him. Seamus Morden again to take this high one in. If a goal came here for Robertstown, it'll liven up this game. Seamus from about 45 yards out on the wing. He's quite capable of putting the ball over from that angle. Sends in a high ball. Goalkeeper took his chest. And it's a goal for Robertstown. He was adjudged and brought it back over the line. And this could change the game. A goal, a free from Sean Morden in off the line. He sent it in high. The goalkeeper took it in his chest, but he stepped back 2 paces. And it's a great goal in Robertstown's favour. And it's a bad one in Rheban. Maybe this could change the game. Could Robertstown believe in themselves after this goal? Let's come back and see after this kick out. And McAvoy getting ready to take the kick out again. Joe McAvoy. I'm sure the goalkeeper will be very disappointed with himself there. Back pedal 2 paces, and that's what you call an OG. And the ball's broken down. Sean Hutchinson kicked down by Joe Boff. Joe Bowers, and he plays the P foul. P foul makes room for himself. Sends it in high. It's gone to the left. And it's gone wide. Maybe Robertstown just have to steady themselves up, but that seems to be a morale booster to Robertstown. It all came from Sean Morden's kick from the sideline ball. The goalkeeper caught in his chest, back-pedalled, and the two umpires, fair play to them, adjust them to brought the ball behind them, and up goes Frank Morden. He has that great game in the middle of the field. He's been shepherding maybe Rheban's best player. Joe Boff waiting for, and it looks like a free. It has to be a free. He took him down just as he's about to kick the ball. The referee says so too. Joe Boff has been a big difference to Robertstown in this game. Surely he's made some useful moves, and it just goes to show you from that free kick. Robertstown back in this game. They seem to be dead and buried, but now the match is level. Sean Morton drives the ball in. It's high. It looks good. Paddy Morton goes up for it. Joe Bowers gets over the bar, and Robertstown are going into the lead for the second time in this game. They went 1 point up at the start, another 1 point up at about 10 minutes to go. Surely this is great football. And the crowd have gone wild over here in the stand. They're waving the flags, their leprechauns, their green, white and gold. But Robertstown surely, that goal made all the difference to Robertstown. McAvoy kicks out the ball again. Up goes Frank Dowling. And it's surely he's just there to knock the ball away from Harris. And he's doing that job right. Joe Boff, he hits in a hard tackle, which is right. Foul him down there if you want to. Boff, he's been a superior influence on this Robertstown team. But Joe Boff gave that ball back to Johnny Morden. Johnny Morden put it over the bar. That last point for Robertstown. Well played. Johnny Bowers contesting that 50-50 ball, and if I know Johnny, he'll make it his, and he does. It's a line ball back up the field for Robertstown against Rheban. John Kelly, he went for the ball, he must never control it, so it's a line ball. Snell O'Brien will take about 45 metres from the Robertstown goals. Snell, 17 years of age, the youngest man on the field, hoping to make a Kildare minor team next year, and the way he's played here, he warrants a position in it. Fitzpatrick taking a tackle from Paddy Morton. It looked okay to me, but the referee says no. Joe Fitzpatrick with the ball. He's very eager to kick the ball up the field as Robertstown lead by a point. What a change around in this game. Rheban owned the game for 45 minutes, and now Robertstown are back in it. Blocked down by Boff. Only a slash Fitzpatrick with room for himself. Will he drive it in, or what will he do? He sends up a loose ball to the corner forward, Richard Foley. Foley sends it into the towards the full forward. Sullivan seems to have him well shepherded, and the ball will break Robertstown's favour. John Sullivan goes down, experienced, and it must be a free out to Sullivan. It is. It's a free out to Sullivan. The full forward hit young Snell O'Brien a box in the face as he was coming out, but the referee's not interested. The umpire wants to draw the referee's attention, but the referee says no. Young Snell O'Brien is on the ground. He's been receiving a bit of attention from Barney Domical. Sullivan is just eager to get on with the free kick. Maybe it doesn't look as serious as it seems. But he's back up on his feet. He's been a coach in there from Gollyburn. And Robertstown seems to be determined to fight for everything. They don't want to lose this game. Snell O'Brien, you might knock me down, but you won't put me out. And he's jockeying. Oh, a great block by Snell. Off the ground, but the referee's giving them a free against him for off the ground play in favour of Rheban. Driven in by Paul Harris. And Richard Foley has it, but he's been blocked by Johnny Bowers. And away comes Robertstown. P. Farrell maybe gets the ball first. But P. Farrell being held there by James Dempsey. But Dempsey, and there's Paddy Owens. Paddy Owens has the ball. Maybe the most dangerous foul Rheban have. Gives it out to Tom Harrison's brother, James Harris, or Paul Harris. Referee and Judge Paddy Morton Paddy Morton said something to the referee and he moved it up 10 yards. Surely this is Rheban's best chance to equalise. Paddy Owens will step up and take this free. This game has really taken off in the last 2 minutes. Robertstown still in that point of a lead. 1-6 to 8 points. Robertstown got a goal and a little bit of a... he sends it high, he sends it through. It's to the centre of the post. You can't afford to foul them guys from that position. Surely this game has been a lot more exciting than the last one. Robertstown seemed dead and buried, and all of a sudden they're back in it. Johnny Bowers giving his man 5 yards. He seems to have just been pulling back. Loose ball into Rheban. And here surely Rheban have the best chance of the game, but the referee calls it back up. You took the free from where I didn't say it was, he said. And he called it back up, but Rheban would have put Robertstown in a lot of trouble there if they'd been allowed to go on with the play. Being taken by Joe Fitzpatrick. Robertstown have men back in numbers. Frank Down, as has to be said, played Tom Harris the best he could. He played the right game, knocking the ball away from him altogether. Harris takes it one-handed. Comes to Kerry Man Sullivan, doing the captain's job. Comes clear with the ball. Drives it out into space to Owen McDonald. Owen McDonald drives it back into space again. Towards Seamus Morden. Seamus Morden drives it into space to Paddy, his brother. Paddy has space, he has the legs. Will he carry the ball through? He's looking for players all around him. And he overplayed it. Taken off him by Joe Fitzpatrick, but he got it back up into his hand. He dummies one player. Gives it out to Sean Hutchinson. It's broken down again by Joe Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick showing determination beyond his years here. And the referee adjusts the ball to go to Rheban. Moves it up 10 yards to the sent by Sean Morden. Sean must have said something else because he wasn't impressed. He's moved it up at least 25 yards. There's no point giving out to the referee. He was right on that occasion. It was a foul on Fitzpatrick by Seamus Morden. And the centre half back, Paul McAvoy, to take this free. Robertstown starting to come into the game a little bit better. Playing football they're capable of. A high one in by McAvoy. Sullivan takes it in on his chest, but it breaks down to the full forward. Seamus Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's ball's blocked down by Snell O'Brien. That's cleared again. That's a long loose ball, but the referee calls it back. The score is 1-6 to 9 points. There's about 5 minutes left in the game. Who's going to win it? Will it be Robertstown or will it Rheban? But on today's performance, Rheban deserve to be the winners on a clear cut. But Robertstown were very fortunate to get that goal out of nothing, and it seemed to have revived them. Walking them up. Joe Boff takes the loose ball, comes to Sean Hutchinson. Hutchinson making room for himself. Clears it off up the field, and it's a line ball to Rheban in their own half. Ball's kick. Paul McAvoy getting ready to take it. A brother of Joe's who's playing full back, so Rheban are very strong up the middle of the field. There's no one loose really for Rheban. Robertstown have a loose man of Sean Hutchinson to play them in deep for Robertstown. That's a very high kick. Up goes Snell O'Brien. And down comes Tom Harris. Harris has been jockeyed, but still managed to play the ball, but it's broke down to Sean Hutchinson. Hutchinson clears it out towards the right wing. Away comes Owen McDonald. He's in space. Drives it in towards the full forward line. P. Farrell's going for the ball, but the break doesn't help him out, and O'Connor seems to got the break, drives it into Joe Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick is spun off his boot, but Johnny Bowers goes up for the ball and breaks down the corner forward. And he's kicked it wide. Richard Foley kicked it wide there. A very bad miss. Rheban has surely ruled those misses when the game is so close and the chances are few, and they're getting the ball. Robertstown can't seem to walk the ball down the field. They've every opportunity, but they don't seem to be able to walk it down the field. Sullivan to take the kick out once again, and gladly from his own 10-metre line. He drives it down the field towards three Rickman. Ball went up very high there. Frank Dowland took the break of ball. Dowland's been very cute. Oh, and it came off wrong for Johnny Morden. He had every opportunity to catch that, but the right half back, Joe Fitzpatrick, seems to be holding up the ball. The referee gives a free in to Rheban. Sean Hutchinson fell over, as I should say, fell over John Kelly, and Kelly gets the free. The Rheban man didn't need any attention, and it's Paul McAvoy again. He'll drive it in full of forward line. That's a very high kick. It comes in dangerously to the goalkeeper, Joe Carty. He's adjusted to being fouled on the goal line. John Sullivan is in there. Sullivan is just having a word with the linesman. He went down, the full forward went down there. Sullivan didn't touch him at all. He went down there, and the referee is over having a word with Sullivan. He didn't touch him at all. He's taking his name, but it looks like the full forward is making the best of it. He's making the best of nothing. The full forward made a meal out of that. Sullivan didn't really hit him. He was only talking to him, telling him to watch yourself, mate. The full forward tackling the keeper. Sullivan's just warned him. The fullback's job He's down the ground. He made a big meal of it. Sullivan had his name taken, but John Sullivan never been sent off in years in a football match, and he's not going to be sent off now. He's been pulled off the ball by Tom Harris. Sent across there by... And now it's the full forward's turn. He hit the corner back at him, but the corner back gets up. There's a little bit of controversy going on there. He's took the cornerback's name, Gaelish, and puts it in his book. The referee was wrong to manhandle the player. His job was to officiate the game and not manhandle the man. Sullivan drives it out. Robertstown sends it up. Well taken by Joe Bolt. Gets room in and he sends in a high ball. Taken down by Paddy Moon. Paddy has space. Sends it high. And it's over the bar. It's a great point. Robertstown take the point. They're going to point ahead with 5 minutes to go. Can they keep the pressure on? Rheban are shook and they're visibly shook. Morton took the breaking ball. Went on his own. A man of his calibre. And he's able to take his frees. He's able to take his points from 40 yards out. A great point. After all the controversy on the Robertstown full back line. And Morton comes out and gets a point like that. Up goes Sean Hutchinson. The favourite breaks Fitzpatrick from Rheban. And the ball gone wide. Giving us. At the full back line. Sullivan just showing the rest of the team. You can't do this to my goalkeeper and get away with it. The referee sees there's a substitute coming in the game. Spot Wagner's coming on. P. Farton's coming off. Robertstown are in this game with a great chance of winning. A point in the difference. And away comes Johnny Bowers. Drives it down towards Spot Wagner. Spot takes the break. This young man, he wants to make an impression. Sends in the ball. And the referee gives a free from that position. Spot maybe a little bit over eager to get the ball. The number 7 has got off their back now. The back was a little bit ambitious. And away comes Paul McAvoy. Broke down and Kerryman Sullivan got the ball and the quick play gives it out into space. Spot Wagner racing towards it, but I don't think he'll make it as it goes out over the line. Robertstown with every chance. 1-7 to 9 points, 10 points to 9. There's Paul McAvoy more than anxious to get on with the game. The time is ticking by. There's about 5 minutes gone. The crowd are anxious waiting for the final hissing. And then McAvoy sends it in high. Broken down to number 11, Harris's brother. And it's gone out on the outside of the post and it's wide. Robertstown are living dangerously. Rheban, they're not even making an effort. Rheban are not even making an effort. It seems Robertstown have buried them with that goal made the difference in the first few minutes. Robertstown getting all the breaks. And it's Kerryman Sullivan. He's won a free for Robertstown just outside his own 45-metre line. And Sean Morton, who was playing corner forwards, down to take it. Short ball, couldn't take the play by it. He's going to Frank Morton. Morton makes a run down the field. Kicks it, it's high. It looks good. And it's over the bar. Robertstown are inspired. Truly great football. Darren kicked it. Maybe 50 yards out. It's high. Went through the centre post. And Darren scored what can be the winning point for Robertstown. There's only minutes to go in this game. Darren, what the best point we've seen in the last 2 games. 50 yards out. Surely the pressure's on Rheban. They had this game for 40 minutes. It's over! It's over! It's over! Robertstown have won the Junior A Championship final. Surely this is the grand finale. The goalkeeper from Rheban will surely kick himself. He let the ball in. And forgive me for my commentary. I'm hoarse from shouting to here, but Robertstown deservedly so at the end of the game.
On behalf of the Clare County Board, I would like to sincerely thank both Robertstown and Rheban for giving us a tremendous it is without doubt the fact that each year the final of the Junior A Championship in all more is the best game of football in Kildare. That again has happened here today with a tremendous sporting game between 2 grand sides. And I would like to again sincerely thank both sides for this tremendous achievement here today and a tremendous game of football. For Rheban, they're a young and very promising side. There has a lot of work gone into preparing you today. I would say to you, don't let down the lads who have looked after you. Don't let down the mentors who have prepared you for today, but come back next year and prove to them that you can do what Robertstown has done here today. There has to be losers on all sides in all games. Unfortunately, it's Rheban today. It was Robertstown in the last number of years, but I have no doubt that ye will be men enough to come back and bring this Noel Moran Cup to Rheban in future years. But today was the day for Robertstown. You have to be very pleased for the officials of Robertstown for the tremendous work they have done for the association in that area, and it's a tremendous achievement for them to come here today and put on such a performance to capture the Noel Moran Cup. I am absolutely delighted that it was such a close and tremendous game of football, because that's what it's all about. And I again like to congratulate everyone involved, Pierce and his officials, both sides. But again, I want to congratulate Robertstown upon a tremendous performance.
County Chairman, Reverend Father, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank Rheban for such a hard game. Maybe they were disappointed the first day, they should have bet us, and we were very bad and still we came back and we drew. So I'd like to thank Rheban for such a hard game, and hopefully they'll be back here next year. Thanks, Rheban. Secondly, I'd like to thank our selectors who worked very hard during the year, who beat the critics, I suppose. I'd like to thank Maurice Musgrave, Paddy Lawler and Jimmy Conroy. I'd like to thank the committee who worked hard, our chairman, Seamus Kane, who's worked very hard. People who have done work in the background and haven't been mentioned, I'd like to thank them very much. The last man I suppose I'll have to thank, and maybe only for him, we probably wouldn't be here today, and that's Noel Gollyburn. I'd like to thank Noel very much. He has worked hard. At the start of the year, people gave us no chance. They probably even didn't give us a chance against Kill. Kill probably just thought it was a formality, just go out and beat us. So I'd like to thank him, and he's worked very hard during the year, and I hope he'll stick with it. So just end up, I give 3 cheers for Rheban. Hip hip.
And here we are in the Robertstown dressing room, and we're going to interview the chairman of Robertstown, Seamus Kane. Seamus must be very proud. But it has to be said, Seamus, Rheban seemed to have 90% of the play, but it was the Shamorden sideline kick when the Rheban goalkeeper backpedaled into the goals, turned the game for you.
Yes, very fine free taken by Shamorden. I think that...
We'll just give the Rheban club a chance to say a few words.
Here's your man.
Lads, I don't want to say, and I have to say hold on anyway, no, but anyway, we always knew we were playing Robertstown, we were going to get nothing easy. But someone had to win and someone had to lose. Unfortunately, it was us that lost, but no matter anyway, he's deserved to win. Because as your captain says there, the last day he's looked to be beaten, and just came back and drew, and maybe a little bit unlucky not even to win it at the end of that day. But I think it was playing the good sporting spirit that Rheban and Robertstown has played down the years anyway. There might be little tips or tats, but you're going to have them in matches anyway. But it's a man's game, lads. And no, and anytime we ever played Robertstown anyway, we always had a fair game. We thought anyway. So lads, the best of luck to you in the higher grades, and we'll probably meet you in the league next year.
And there you have it from the chairman of Rheban Club. A few sportsmanly words. We'll just get back to this interview here. Maybe we'll get Morris Musgrave to say a few words to us. Morris, you look the worst for wear. I'd say you're very happy with the result.
Totally delighted, but totally shattered at the same time. These fellas give me heart attacks every time they play, especially this year. But I'm thrilled for them.
Rheban looked to have won the game with 10 minutes to go. Seamus Morton got a sideline kick. Seamus took it in, and the Rheban goalkeeper took it in his chest. Back pedal 2 yards, and Robertstown had a goal. How did you feel about that moment?
Well, thrilled and delighted, but I never give up on these fellas. Even if they're 5 or 6 points behind with 10 minutes to go, you'll always expect them to win in the finish.
And that's the confidence of a good manager. We'll just call Paddy Lawler over here. Maybe his greatest moment with the club. Paddy has been associated with the club way back the years. Paddy, how did you feel when the final whistle was blown?
Well, I wasn't able to feel anyway. I was nearly dead at that stage. I just said to myself, well, the long struggle is over anyway.
Surely you won't have to go to the doctor this Thursday like you did last Thursday. Surely you'll be with us tonight for a few pints in the bar gin or maybe Dowlan's.
I bet.
Thank you very much. We'll grab Johnny Leeson, Johnny's ex-chairman. He's excelled with excitement. Johnny, Rheban seemed to have the game wrapped up. 10 minutes ago, Sean Morton took the sideline ball and went dead high. The Rheban goalkeeper backpedaled, and it was a goal for Robertstown. And Robertstown were back in the driver's seat. How do you feel now?
Feel marvellous. It's a marvellous achievement for the club. It's one of the best things that ever happened to Robertstown Football Club in the 10 year I'm associated with. I'm delighted for the players. I'm delighted for Paddy Lawler, all the people associated with Morris Musgrave, Jimmy Conroy, and delighted in particular for the people of Robertstown, the people that support us all down the year. It's great for them. This is their day. It's the day for Robertstown Football Club.
Thank you very much. We just take Johnny Morton here, one of the players on the day. Johnny had an awful lot better game than he did the last day, and I felt you came more into the game. But surely you must have been ecstatic when Seamus took that long kick in on the goalkeeper backpedaled. Surely he was suicide for Rheban, and surely he was rebirth for Robertstown. How do you feel about that?
I think it was rebirth for Robertstown, but we deserved it.
And Robertstown are very confident there. We'll just look for a few more of the players. Spot Bagnall brought into the game. Spot brought into the game. He broke down the second ball for the free kick, which surely put the curtains on Rheban. You broke down the ball, Paddy Morton collected. He went and kicked it over the bar. How did you feel being brought into the game at that stage? Could you cope with the pressure? Could you cope with the excitement?
I cope with everything, didn't he? I'll try to break his ribs, I couldn't. I'll do it again.
This man, he's not used to drinking beer or anything like that, but surely you'll take a slug out of the cup tonight.
Oh, definitely.
Just have a little chat with Frank.
John, okay.
We have Father O'Reilly here. A few words from Father O'Reilly. It's great to see you back, Father, after a long illness, and you're looking very well. You must be...
Win. And I want to congratulate you all the way you fought back. You were dead and buried at one stage, but you came back and it's the last minute that counts, and that's where it counted. So congratulations to you all.
And we have... We have John Byrne here, a player from the 39 final. Surely, John, this must be a proud moment for you.
It's 50 years ago since I had an opportunity of playing for Robertstown against a selection of Rheban, a fine bunch of good young footballers. At that particular time, we had one of the greatest footballers here in Robertstown, like Jim Joe Dowling, Jim Conroy, Tommy Hannon, and a lot more I would like to mention. But to come back here 50 years later and see them do it again is just unbelievable. I think it's fantastic. So I'd like to congratulate the committee that they have in Robertstown and the trainers that made everything possible to pull this off today. So I hope when I return from America next year, I will be able to come and see them in another final. So I'd like to have a minute's silence for those who we have lost in the 1939 championship. Well, that's about all I got to say. So keep up the good work.
And there's the man all the way from the United States. And here I am talking to the captain of the team, and it's a great occasion for Robertstown. Robertstown looked dead and buried, but Seamus Morton, he took a sideline ball, the goalkeeper took on his chest and backpedaled 2 yards into the net. The umpires had no hesitation. But I'd just like to ask you how it feels, you're the first year's captain of the team, to go up the steps and take the Junior A Championship trophy for Robertstown.
It feels great, I suppose. My first year captain, I reckon we're a fair old team there, a very young team, and I say we'll be probably in the intermediate final again next year if we all stick together.
It also must make you very proud. A player from the 39 team came in here. We had a minute's silence for the 39 team. He praised you, he told you how well you played, and it must make you very, very proud, and I'm delighted to be here doing this game for you, covering it. But I must say it must make you very proud, because it makes you a very special player. 50 years of a gap, and you're captain of a team, a winning team. Maybe the last day you were bet and buried. This day you look dead and buried. But your players showed character and skill throughout, and have won the day for you.
Yeah, I reckon our experience probably in the last 10 minutes. Paddy Morgan got a ball, he looked up, no hesitation, slapped it over the bar. Same with Frank Dowling. When the pressure was on, Frank got the ball, just stood, had a look at the post, and slapped straight over the bar. So.
Just one last word on this. Frank Dowling, he's been a man that can be played in any position in the field. And I don't care for my money, he was my man of the match today, because this man, he was put on Rheban's hardest man, Tom Harris. As we all know, he had a game that was outstanding the last game, and his confidence surely must have been 100% coming in here today. But he didn't reckon on Frank Dowling. Frank Dowling had, with my match, for my money, a game of his life today. How did you feel? Did you think he'd be a big say there in that game?
I reckon Frank had a great game. I reckon he played Harris well. There was a lot of talk. We're talking among ourselves what Harris was going to do and what he wasn't going to do. And lads were probably a little bit worried about Harris. And he's a great fielder of the ball, I suppose. But Dowling done his job. But I reckon the other 14 lads done the same. I reckon when it came to the crunch, in the last 15 minutes, we held our heads. When we got that goal, we held our heads, we looked up, and I reckon the little bit of experience at the end showed off. I reckon Rheban, their forwards, had probably had a chance to score and they didn't take it. And our forwards, when they got half a chance, to slap them over the bar. I reckon that's the win of the game.
Just the last word there, Murty McCormick, and I think it's only fair to get a word off Murty. Murty was responsible for this team being so successful, along with Golly Byrne. He stuck with it even though he was out through injury. He could have said, look lads, I'm not playing, so I'll stay at home, do the thing yourself. He's been here at every match. And it's been said you were in Dowlands last week coaching John Sullivan, telling the mistakes he made in the last game.
No, John doesn't need any coaching. He's well experienced and a long time ahead. But it was the full team effort out there today, and that's what it takes to win a championship. It takes 15 men on the team and the panel as well. And that's why I reckon to stick with them like through thick and thin.
We leave this broadcast here, and we'd just like to thank everybody else associated with the Robertstown Football Club, and we wish them the best of success in the next year.
could be seen. I never thought that so much excitement could come into one man as was in Newton's this evening at 10-5. There's men involved in this club are much more deserving to be up here than me. There's men like Dennis in the club for 10 years, 5 years. Since 1979, I've been associated with the football club in Robertstown. Since 1979, I've been associated with the football club in Robertstown. But I'd say tonight finishes up everything. Everything I started out to do in 1979. I'd say tonight is Maurice Rusco's day, Paddy Lawler's day, and all the players in Robertstown, and particularly the supporters of the football club. Congratulations. I'd like to well done to the footballers in Robertstown. There's one man down there now. I'd like to come up and say a few words. He's standing down there at the back. I'd like Paddy Lawler to come up here. Paddy. I'd like Paddy Lawler up here front.
We'll be intermediate next year. But I won't really be satisfied until we have another cup in about 3 weeks' time. And then we'll finish it, the football for this year, the Jack Higgins Cup. Thanks very much, and I'd like to congratulate the lads once again and thank them for the great effort that they've put into it. And I think it wouldn't be fair to leave the man that's responsible for the whole lot of it and has done so much for them. Maurice was great. Last but not least, I'd like to thank and congratulate Noel Byrne. Yes, and I'd like to call him up here now just to say a few words. Come on, Noel. Come on. Not the team. Noel, it's over.
I have a band of men, and all they do is play for me. They come from miles around to hear them play old melody. Beneath the stars by 10 guitars, we play a song for you. And if you're with the one you love, and this is what to do. Dance, 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 and we'll take your time.
they're training very hard with us all during the year. And maybe for them, we might have been in the final, and that's Jim Dowling, who hopefully come to the semi-final. But I thank him. Thanks, Jim Dowling. Once again. And as I said today, probably only 4 goalies will be down here tonight, and there'll probably be no final for us only 4 goalies. So I thank goalies once again. I think maybe the next final will be the Jack Higgins. And hopefully we'll be all here in 2 weeks' time. And hopefully we'll have a couple of records.
was left from the crowd mighty roar. When Paddy Moore gets into action, the white flag denoting the score. And louder by far from all others was a shout that could be heard in Rathcoole. It might be the voice of Red Morton, or it could be a yell from Duxtool. The fearless Frank Dowling is fighting to add to the Robertstown score. When the ball left his boot, we were cheering, and the white flag was waving once more. The battle was grim and determined, the ball making flight to the sky. Well, Killian Carty, he got hold of the leather, and the white flag is hoisted on high. The men of Rheban are down, and Sullivan appears in the picture, and stands up the tide of the flow. Johnny Moore then gets part of the leather, and the ball is propelled by his foe. Gleason is also untiring, he plays with the Joe Carty in for opponents, and bravely stands up to the test. Farrell now gets into action, McDonald is there as our shield. He jumps a great height for the leather, and sends it right down the field. Sean Hutchie is a forward line fighter, and each time he gets to the ball. And just at this moment I wonder, is Hutchie seeing it at all? Our left corner man Johnny Moran is playing the game of his life. Joe Valve, I nearly forgot him, though last was not least in the strife. His judgment and passing was open, the means of us raising the score. Joe Bowers is now playing like magic, as often he's done so before. On the sideline, the substitute panel was eager to get in the game. Jim Dowling and Richie and Joseph, Tom Bagnell and the Donoghue by name. Tony Bagnell and Dano were stretching, James Conroy was able and keen, but McCormick is now fit and strong, and is back to his old self again. Chairman Seamus Kane was shaking, as the red lost his watch he did stay. Paddy Lawler is shouting and jumping, I think might we won.